Oh, hello, everybody. Yeah, it's live. Let's see if anybody comes on. We're in the semi truck. What state are we in? Tennessee. We're in Tennessee. It's very loud in the truck, so hopefully the audio is not horrible. It is windy today. They've been having storms in this part of the country. We just missed the tornadoes when they had the tornadoes on Sunday. Hello. Hope you're having a good day. We're in Tennessee. Huh?
What?
They will. Where are we stopping at tonight?
We're shooting for third. Nashville. Memphis, Tennessee. So the two big towns. It's like there's construction.
How's the audio? I know there's a lot of background noise in the truck, but can you hear us okay?
Trips. Always construction. People actually watch these songs.
Yeah.
I don't know how popular that much.
I think it depends on the channel, the content.
I got a channel for sure.
My friend Gene, he's the one that he does a lot of the video games, so like video games. Watch and play. Oh, she's from the Philippines, so it's midnight.
Wow. What are you doing on that midnight?
Well, thank you for checking in. Well, when I was still at home, I was up because my sleep schedule got all screwed up for me. Not working currently, so I probably would be up at midnight if I was still at home.
It's getting narrow. How's the weather in the Philippines? I think I could put these very close.
They widening the freeway. Is that what they're doing?
Looks like it. It'll be another 5 years before it's done. That door is not wish it would stay shut. Watching it.
Messaging.
Everybody get on. I got it. Should do a webcam.
A webcam one? Oh, we'd have to buy an external one for that.
I don't think they want to look at it. We're missing all the important things.
I can turn the camera. It's pretty outside.
See all the traffic.
It's very green. Turn this way. Try to hold the computer a little bit steady.
All the construction.
All the construction. But it's pretty here. Definitely different than Arizona. Hi, Jean. How are you doing today? So it's messaging. His channel's name is The Truth, but Source name's Jean. Yeah. He's been asking me to do a live because I haven't done one in a long time. So hi, Mike and Alex. So I was letting him know that I was finally on.
So, did not give people notification.
How's the audio? Can you hear us okay? I know it's loud in the truck, but can you hear us okay?
Okay.
It is bumpy. Probably giving motion sickness.
People want to know what it's like to be on an actual semi.
It's bumpy and loud. The audio is good. That's good. Mike was worried in the vlogs that the background was too loud because he was asking if I brought my mic, which I didn't, but I told him that it gives people a more accurate representation of what it's like in the truck because it is loud in the truck. So, and I didn't bring my mic because I didn't know if that would pick up more background. I didn't bring my microphone, but people wanted to know what it was really like. Yeah, it is very loud. And some roads are better than others. Obviously, if the road's better maintained, it's not as loud. And then if the road's bad, oh, he says he wishes he was on the road.
No, you don't.
It's pretty. I can turn the camera. I don't know if you were on when I showed. We're in Tennessee. So here's the landscape. Well, you can see it's green. It's pretty.
I don't even know where he's from.
Where are you from, Gene? I don't remember. Wait, is it Michigan? Let's see if I'm right. He's told me before, and
I don't even know where I'm at.
well, and Mike will tell me where he's at. My dad will ask me, and then by the time my dad asks me, I forget where Mike is because especially over in this area, the states are so small and so close together, and he'll pass through multiple states in a day, and I don't keep track anymore of where he is. Usually he'll text me at night where he's stopping, but I'll ask him like 10 times during the day where he's going because I just don't remember. You can't hear the truck? It doesn't sound loud.
That's surprising because it's loud to us.
I'm using my laptop for the live, so maybe the computer's not picking up as much in the background. I think normally when I film, I use my phone because I've got the iPhone 11 Pro Max, whatever it's called. That picks up everything. The view is pretty. It is pretty here. It's green. I live in Arizona, so it's not green there, especially because we live in we're right next to the Mexico border. There is green, and oh, Gene's in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
I knew it was.
It looks pretty much like this, though. I don't think I've met something.
Yeah, there are parts of Arizona that are green, like in northern Arizona, but we're not in that part of Arizona.
Maybe I can do a Pepsi sponsorship.
Pepsi sponsorship. Hi, how are you doing, Manders? I haven't talked to you in a long time. How are you doing? She's from Canada.
Oh, we're still
I don't know, is there still snow at your house? We're good. This is day 4 in the semi truck. Yesterday. When I upload the vlogs, I film them, edit them, and upload them the same day. So yesterday was really day 3. So it's day 4. Mike wanted to do a live, so we brought the laptop and he made a hotspot on his phone. She said there's no snow right now, but it might. It's not snowing now, but it might later. I know my grandparents live in Montana. My dad sent me pictures of their house, and they had snow there on Easter. So I know there's a place that's still getting snow. Yeah, it is nice. I went with Mike once before when I was done with beauty school, before I started working. Because the hard part is I do get vacation from work, but I can only take, about a week or 10 days. And Mike never knows exactly how long he's going to be gone. So I figured, after I graduated, that would probably be the only time I'd be able to go. And then I was furloughed. Oh, she said it snowed yesterday. So I asked him last week, I said, hey, I can go with you again. And he didn't think I would want to go again. I didn't mind being in the truck. It's not bad. There's just not a bathroom in the truck, so that's the only annoying part. I have to walk to the truck stop. And sometimes we're parked far away. Right now it's not as bad because there's not as many trucks on the road, so the truck stops are not as full as they were when I went with him the first time. No, they are. Smiling faces. My sunglasses are creating a little bit of a glare, so that's why I keep leaning in. So they're prescriptions, so I can't read, but screens. Oh, she said her husband drove into town, and she said downtown Toronto was like a ghost town.
Yeah, all the big cities we've been through look like ghost towns.
Yeah, there's no traffic hardly at all on the freeway. When you drive past the town, all the malls are empty, every store is empty. All the parking lots are. Walmart is the only store we've seen lots of cars in the parking lot. And then
there was that one Home Depot.
There was one Home Depot that was open in one of the towns. She said they had storms come through from the north.
Yeah, we missed all the storms, but okay.
Oh, from the south. Yeah, we missed the tornadoes we were in Louisiana, but we were a little bit farther southwest, and so we just missed them. And then the next day we drove through all the areas where the tornadoes had hit the night before. Yeah, Mike's mom got us masks, and we have hand sanitizer in the truck, and then we make sure when we go in that we and a lot of the drivers wearing masks and gloves. Oh, they were talking about the tornadoes. The city to the south had gotten tornadoes. We didn't even realize that there was the tornado warning until we were getting close. His mom texted us and showed us some other map. Thankfully, we were a little bit below where they hit.
We didn't catch it on video, but there was a tree in the middle of the freeway. I know it's the other day.
Yeah.
Semi-truck just stopped on the
Had to
freeway.
stop, and Mike had to slam on his brakes because a tree had just fallen.
Right on the road.
Well, and it's these little, like, 2-lane, old interstate roads, so it's scary. Thank you for stopping by, Syria. Hopefully I'm not pronouncing your name wrong. Get some rest.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. No, it's not super entertaining to be in the semi. I wonder if that counts as a hand-free device.
The laptop, well, technically it's not hands-free because I have to keep my hands on it so it doesn't bounce off the... There's a tray that pulls out in front of me, like you could do paperwork probably or Steve on it. I have the computer sitting on it, but I still have to hold the computer because it's bumpy.
And the luxury set. Full leather interior. It's just
Don't let it fall. Yeah, no. This is a newer laptop. It's mine. Mike had bought me one for school and it crashed. So Mike bought this one for me. When I was a full. The bed technically was full. There was a full mattress wedged in his bed, but Mike's sleeper is a little bit bigger, so it's a full instead of a twin. So there's a little bit more room back there, like floor space and bed space that there would normally be in a regular, like average size sleeper. Hi, Wendy. How are you? She sits over and let me in. She's the one I was telling you her husband was thinking about being a semi driver. And Mike started in Arizona. I don't know if I've heard that's what he did before. And so he had done side work for Jason, the owner of the company. And Jason had always told him, if you ever get your CDL and you want to drive, I'll bring you on and I'll train you. And Mike got his CDL because there's a lot of lineman positions that require it. So that was initially why he wanted to get it. And then Jason had offered him a job and he didn't want to do electrical anymore. So here we are. Condensed version of the story. So that is why Mike is driving. That's why he's not doing electrical anymore. She said her and her husband are watching. We're in Tennessee right now. I can turn it again so you can kind of see outside. Hopefully it's not making anybody ill, but probably if I turn it. So
the Hummers I'm carrying.
Mike's got 2 Hummers from the Army National Guard that are going. Where are they going? Austin, Texas. That is the short version as to why Mike is now a semi-driver. I mean, if a job at APS ever opened up, Mike would probably take it. And initially, that's why he got a CDL. But he does enjoy driving. Mike just doesn't always enjoy how long he's gone. Because our daughter is 2, so she's little. He misses out on a lot. We are able to FaceTime, but yeah, before, he would have been calling us from payphones, having to wait in line to use the payphone, so at least we can do FaceTime. Oh yeah, it's fun. I don't mind being in the truck. Jane said there's no motion sickness for him. That's good. It's This to me is like camping. There's just no bathroom in the truck, so you have to walk to the truck. I mean, Mike doesn't have to walk to the truck stop because he's a boy, but I have to walk to the truck stop.
That's a dirty little secret.
I don't know why. I have to walk to the truck stop, so that's the only annoying thing. She was asking how many days you get to be home. Like, there's been months where, like, Mike's been home 5 days total, and those are not 5 days in a row. So he has gone a lot because he does long hauls.
It really depends on the company you work for and how much money you want to make.
Yeah. There are guys that could do more local runs. Like, local for us would be guys taking stuff from Yuma to LA and then, like, to Phoenix and, I don't know, maybe a little bit farther on the other direction. And then those guys would be home, like, every other night. Mike doing long haul will be out anywhere from 16 days. Was the longest you were out? 18. And then he'll come home sometimes 2 or 3. I mean, there have been instances where he has been home for 5 days in a row, but it doesn't happen very often because you got to think if he's not on the road, he's not making money. He gets paid per load. He makes a percentage. Some drivers get paid per mile, but those companies, the drivers don't end up running as much as they think they're going to. And Mike makes, what do you make? 24%? 25% of the load. He got a raise again. You do shower at the truck stops. They do have showers, like the Loves. It doesn't cost him anything to shower at the Loves. If it's not a Loves truck stop, you have to pay for the showers, but they do have.
It depends on where you fuel, because in places that you buy fuel, if you get more than 50 gallons, you get a free shower. Our company's bills have Loves, so you get all the Loves points.
Love points. Mike's got the Loves card, so he gets points every time he fills up, so then he can get free snacks and stuff. Has anyone ever tried to jump on the truck to take stuff from you?
No, typically because I haul
Equipment,
and they're not.
I know they have had theft issues, Mike was saying, with some of the box drivers that transport, like, he was saying, like, one of the drivers Mike knows did a shipment from, like, L'Oreal, like, it was cosmetics, and he wasn't, like, it was very strict when he picked it up, and he wasn't allowed to stop for, like, 250 miles past the factory, because the 250-mile radius was where they were having shipments being stolen from the trucks. But Mike, carrying large equipment, nobody really does any of that anymore.
It also depends on where you, like, Chicago's that area. They have load thefts in Chicago.
Near Chicago.
And they actually have signs at truck parking areas, park at your own risk. Like, there's recent cargo thefts. But,
yeah, one of the drivers that Mike knows had to take a shipment from L'Oreal, so I would assume it was like cosmetics, but there's a big market for cosmetics, especially on the black market, so that factory was having a lot of thefts, so they were tracking loads. The drivers were not allowed to stop 250 miles to 250 miles of the factory because they were having people steal stuff.
I remember watching my mouth. I'll have to yell at that truck.
There are box drivers that they don't even know what they're picking up. They'll show up.
There's a lot of box.
Because, like, Brian, when he picked up the L'Oreal, he knew he was at, like, a L'Oreal factory, but he didn't know what was in the load. Like, wasn't allowed to see the load, had to back up, wasn't allowed to get out of the truck when they loaded the truck. So there are companies where
there's a lot of companies you
don't know what you're calling.
And they they put a security tag on the box man that if it's broken, it's
the driver gets in trouble.
The driver can get in trouble. It has to be reported if it's broken. Because it's meant to. Nashville, Tennessee. Wow, they did not have any signs for that. They just got a lane closed and no more tickets.
Jeans in California just passed laws that police just give tickets for stealing.
Yeah, they're not. I've heard California's not enforcing any theft laws, like you don't get arrested for it.
Wendy was saying if you were hauling for Urban Decay, we would be trying to steal your load.
Work, it doesn't say.
And it doesn't like necessarily spell out that that's the company. They're very cryptic now because there's so much theft in the cosmetic
And you also
industry.
can be hauling, just because you pick up at a factory labeled one thing, you could be hauling somebody else's load. Or
Yeah, they've tried to be sneakier about it because there is so much theft going on.
Nashville, Tennessee.
We're in Nashville. We're in the computer.
Fat Cats lives.
All the time. So like him and I last just couldn't stop.
Yeah, sometimes I stop in rest areas.
And there's nothing to eat.
I also carry a little Coleman grill, so I can bring some eggs and stuff and cook breakfast. But depends on what the weather's like. If it's windy, can't really cook with the grill.
And then Gene said camo paint the trailer and put it in the backyard. Mike actually has camo on his truck.
Yeah, you guys did know.
The trim, the truck is white, and then the trim around the bottom has camo. Gene said I have my own door mirror for makeup. My own door for makeup.
Oh.
He said he could see the trim.
I think they want
She was saying there was a restaurant her husband used to eat at when he was in Oregon. And it's sad because a lot of the truck stops have taken out the restaurants and they just have fast food now.
and the restaurants they do have are very like
Denny's type iron skillet, like just okay. A lot of the mom and pop
gorgeous.
restaurants have gone out. So the food on the road is not as good as it used to be because my uncle was a truck driver. He owned a furniture hauling type. He had 10 or 15 trucks. And I remember him telling me a lot of the restaurants on the road were really good. And yeah, a lot of the mom and pop restaurants.
There's some out there, but they're few and far between.
This is Mike's truck. He gets assigned to a truck. Like he had a different truck before this one, but they keep the same truck. He was asking if we use the same.
Oh yeah, we stay in our trucks. They're company trucks, but we
Get assigned one that's
assign
his
one.
that he always uses. So
Sometimes, if they're parked at the yard, for a week. Sometimes other drivers use them for day trips, but
That's about it.
generally that's the generic. Because we have a fleet of like basic generic semi trucks that are automatics, and those typically get used by other drivers.
It's helpful for Mike because he doesn't have to completely empty everything out. He can keep some stuff stocked.
Yeah, I just
Reload when he needs to, so he's not having to completely load everything every single time.
well, then you're on the road for 11 hours a day. It's nice to have your truck set up the way you want.
When you know where everything is.
It gets a little frustrating when people change stuff in your truck. You really start to notice it. That was easy getting through Nashville.
Oh, thank you. Wendy said that we did good in the love department because you both are as cute as pie together. Mike tells people I settled. He's just hard on himself. See what I'm saying? Some of the roads are better than others, but this is because we're in a town. The freeways are not as. Once you get out of the towns, the freeways are no better.
Unless you're in Indiana or Illinois, the freeways are not very nice.
We were set up on a blind date. A friend of mine from high school, his name is Steven. Mike is actually friends with Steven. I've known him since junior high and high school. And Mike, how did you meet Steven?
You live down the street from me.
Oh, okay. And then, so Mike had met him later on, and then they used to duck hunt. And I was single, and Steven, because I've known him so long, every once in a while would check in and ask how I was doing. So he was like, "Hey, I have a friend. Do you want to meet him and go out to dinner?"
I can't hear you. Oh, because we're filming a YouTube video.
Mike's dad's calling.
What?
Yeah,
I'll give you a call back. You don't have the baby, do you?
There's
Oh,
no school
yeah.
today.
Where is she? There's that princess. Hi, baby. She doesn't want to look at me.
Diana!
Diana!
Hi, sweet girl. How are you doing? Are you drinking some juice? Are you watching cartoons with Grandpa? Oh, bubble guppies. We like the bubble guppies. How are you feeling?
I'm a little better.
That's good. Yeah.
I got Skype included on my phone.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yep.
going to play that with Tim about half an hour.
My dad, they still have Androids, and they don't have the nice Androids either, so they have to use Skype when they video.
Yeah, I have it on my computer. I just never put it
You're
on
on
my
the
phone.
phone? Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Finally got it done. All right. I'll be back later.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Hi, baby girl.
Good night.
Hi,
She doesn't
princess.
care. She's got bubble gum.
Hi, I love you. You gonna push the button? Push the button. Hang up.
Yeah, she doesn't want to.
She was trying. She had her cup in one hand.
So that's how we talk to our family at home.
Yeah. Usually when Mike FaceTimes me, he's stopped.
Stop. It's not. I was not using a handheld device.
Yeah, my parents need new phones. Mike's been trying to get them to get iPhones because that's what we all have, but they need to do something. A new Android would be better than what they've got. Yeah, the Androids. They have our really, but yeah, to answer your question, we're set up on a blind date through a mutual friend, and we've been together ever since. Gene said, "I hate you over the head with a club and sent you a line."
Probably. Don't remember. I had brain damage.
He was just saying my parents need to get the new Galaxies. Anything would be better than the phones they have.
They have the generic Android.
And they're old.
Yeah.
So they don't work very well just because they're old. Because I've had Androids before, not to say there's anything wrong with an Android, but they just need new phones, whatever brand they want to use.
Androids are good for people that like their phone and know all the little tricks and
Which
stuff.
my parents don't. I don't know how to do anything.
Simple.
I have Skype on my phone because my older daughter has an Android also, so I Skype her. And then my dad's figured out. Well, he had it on his phone before, and I don't know why he thought it was complicated, but he never used it. So now that my parents are trapped in their house, and they're not really going anywhere, my dad Skypes me every day, and figured out that Skype isn't as hard as he was making it out to be.
It's called all that,
But our daughter's staying with his parents, and she still has preschool on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So she was at school yesterday, but today's Tuesday, so she's with Grandpa today. They're watching Bubble Guppies. She looks sleepy. It's probably well, it's not. Maybe she just woke up. It's what time?
We truck across the time zones.
I never changed my watch, so it's still in Arizona time.
It's actually kind of entertaining.
We watched The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
We watched part of it the day before, and then we watched the rest of it last night.
Then we watched the.
Oh, Wendy wants to know, when did you know that I was the one?
Why you guys just gotta ask questions like this? I don't know. I don't know if there's a defining moment, but I haven't figured out yet.
He bought me a ring, and I'm the only girl that he's ever bought an engagement ring for, so that's nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we've ever had a defining moment.
He just figured out he didn't want to leave.
Yeah. I think we compliment each other. I've never been that super emotional.
Gene said you knew right away, LOL.
If you would have asked me 3 years ago, I'd have a daughter and a fiance. I probably would have said no.
Mike had given up.
Yeah, I had pretty much given up on dating at that point.
So we text, and then he asked if I wanted to go to dinner over text. So I met him at the restaurant. He didn't pick me up or anything because I'm leery about strangers coming to my house. So we met at the restaurant. Yeah, we started messaging a little bit after Stephen had kind of introduced us. And then, yeah, we met at the restaurant. And then after the second date, we were official.
Officially official. I don't know. Can you guys hear the CB radio when it goes off?
I think he can. Yeah, there are a lot of trucks, like, is it Swift that they don't let the drivers have the CDs?
The the bigger carriers don't want drivers to have CB radios because they feel that it's a distraction, even though it can prevent a lot of accidents. Because if you just listen, generally guys with CB radios call out accidents ahead or slowdowns.
Gene was saying he can't ever understand. I can't ever understand what they're saying either. A lot of it, especially in the South, they have thick accents anyway, and then when they get on the CB, it's like Boomhauer from King of the Hill, and that's what it sounds like coming through. And it's like, is he even speaking English? Because Mike made a comment yesterday. He's like, do they realize how they sound? I don't think they do, because they'll just go on, and you can't understand a single word.
I'm told the future is like hold the radio away from your mouth
and enunciate.
Yeah, pronunciate. You'll hear fights, and when we get close.
Have you ever had an accident in the truck?
No, I haven't had anything that's considered an accident.
Knock on wood. Some of the drivers have. Mike had one driver. Mike told me there was one driver that accidentally drove the truck into a ditch. And then there's one guy that has bad luck that's either hit things or has had people hit him. He's had to have 5 bumpers replaced. If he gets one more, he's not. Because he's in a newer truck, so if he does it one more time, he's losing his truck, and they're going to give him an older truck because he has really bad luck.
One of our guys, a couple of years ago.
Knock on wood, yeah.
One of our guys, a couple of years ago, he got cut off by a car. A car pulled out in front of him, and he tried to negotiate around him and hit a pole, like a street pole, with his semi-truck. He ended up losing his leg. And we actually still, I think they got rid of it a couple months ago. We had the cab of the truck
still in the yard,
and it was pretty bad. But one of our drivers got ran off the road in Kansas. It wasn't his fault, but I don't know if you really consider it an accident. He hit the trailer on the curb and ended up damaging the rims and tires. Our company has a pretty good safety record.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. I have had close encounters, a lot of close encounters.
Well, we almost rear-ended when we had to stop suddenly the other day when the tree fell in the road. Mike had to slam on his brakes and get over really quick because we would have rear-ended. Because you can't just come to a complete stop in a semi, especially when there's a load. There's too much weight. So thankfully, Mike was able to get over. Otherwise, we probably would have rear-ended the car in front of us because there's nowhere to go.
That's where a CB radio would have prevented.
Yeah, the driver could have gotten on the radio and said, "Hey, I'm at mile marker, blah blah blah. There's a tree in the road. I'm at a dead stop." And Mike will do that when he sees an accident. He'll get on the radio, and that way there's truckers listening. They know that there's going to be an accident on that side at whatever mile marker it is, so they can start slowing down and getting over, whatever they need to do. Otherwise, you're just going along, and all of a sudden you have to come to a dead stop. Like I said, if there's weight in the back of the truck, you can't just come to a stop. That's why I don't understand. It's always these little bitty, like Honda Civics that cut off the semi-truck. Like, if we run into you, you're going to lose. We can't just stop because I've seen cars cut them off when I've been in the truck with them, and I just don't understand. I don't think they think about it. I think they think it's like a car, and we can just, because we can't. And it's always the smallest cars that cut off the semi-trucks. Remember the people, not that big encounters when you've been on the road, strange lights or anything, no.
No,
Mike doesn't tend to run too much at night, which I think is when drivers, if they're going to see weird lights or anything, probably. There are drivers that run at night. There's a couple that work for Mike's company, and they just prefer they run through the night. So I think if you were going to see stuff, that's probably Mike's usually stopped between 3 and 6, depending on where he's at and what the time changes, because Mike generally doesn't run at night. Yeah, he was saying funny lights in the sky. I think that's probably why you don't tend to see that because you're during the day.
I've heard drivers say they have. Nobody's caught it on a dash cam or anything.
Mike was up in Washington, like Bigfoot country. He got some Bigfoot like souvenirs. Like he brought the baby home with stuffed Bigfoot. They didn't have any magnets, so we didn't get a magnet, but he got a sticker and a shirt. So he has been in Bigfoot country, but he never saw Bigfoot.
I've only seen deer.
How many hours do you get to sleep on average?
Well, you can drive 11 hours in a day, and then you have a minimum of 10 hours off. And depending on how you run, like I like to drive my entire 11 hours, so I'm on the road about 12 to 13 hours a day, and then I take my minimum 10 hours off. So I sleep within that 10 hours. Sometimes I get 9 hours of sleep, and sometimes I get 5 hours of sleep. Depending on, like the other night, we stopped at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a little hard to fall asleep.
Right at 2.
Yeah. And we were up at 1:30 in the morning running. So then I only got like 5.
And I try to stay, and then I hurt my neck, so that's the only reason I lay down for a little bit. But I didn't I think I only lay down for like an hour.
Yeah, a couple hours.
It wasn't a long amount of time, but I try to keep his schedule and sleep when he sleeps just because it's easier. Yeah, I pulled this muscle, and so it hurts. I see.
I also I run a little bit different schedule than the normal truck drivers. Our company's small, so we have a little more flexibility. Like, if I want to stay at a truck stop a little longer, generally I do. Again, it comes down to how much money do you want to make.
Yeah.
If you're not rolling, you're not earning. That door does not want to stay shut.
On the thing?
Yeah, that bungees.
One of the doors on one of the Hummers, he's got 2 Humvees that we're transporting. The lock is broken, so the door doesn't want to.
It's got a bungee cord on it.
It's got a bungee cord.
Wind is catching.
That leaked a little bit. Don't let me rub my eyes.
Yeah,
I got icy hot on my hands.
Oh, don't touch your eyes.
My glasses.
It's not real.
Oh, he was asking about deer.
When you get into the northeast and Midwest, like Iowa and Ohio, there's a ton of deer. I watched a FedEx truck nail one, take one right in the grill, left a half-mile blood streak down the freeway. It's not pretty to hit a deer. One of our drivers was in Yellowstone, and he had a deer commit suicide on his driver's side hood.
Just ran into
Just
it.
straight ran into the hood and bounced off the hood and took out his air cleaner and put a nice dent in the hood. Never found the deer either. He just saw blood and guts.
It's gross.
Oh, and then Dale hit a deer. It took out his headlight, bumper, and ended up blowing the tire. Yeah, there's tons of deer, especially Iowa. If you run at night in Iowa, you're probably gonna hit a deer.
Not pretty for sure.
I've come close. I got.
Yeah, not pretty for a car, let alone a truck.
I think it'd be safer to hit one in a truck. I almost hit one in Texas. It was stranded on the head of the shoulder.
He said his grandmother had a goose fall out of the sky and go through her windshield. windshield.
I hit a hawk, caught it with my driver's side mirror. There's a big hawk. I've taken out multiple doves. I have hit square in the windshield, and I hit a duck.
Hello. Welcome.
Truck stops are advertising.
Oh, it was a commercial.
Yeah, I guess kind of commercial. They just get on the radio. Hey, stop here for truck wash and dinner, blah blah blah. Exit such and such. Here in Nevada, brothels will advertise over
Oh,
the CB radio. We have truck parking in the rear.
Gene said PETA won't like that. Probably that we hit animals, but it happens.
Wow.
You can't
There's nothing you can do.
get out of the way.
I hit a turtle in Kansas.
Just crossing the road.
Yeah, the turtle. There was nothing I could do. I tried to straddle him, but I'm too big. And you don't swerve for animals. Just take them head on.
Yeah, and it's a causing more of an accident.
You swerve, and that's how you get yourself hurt. You can miss the truck or hit other people.
He was crossing the road. It's just kind of a hazard road.
That guy did not put his safety belt on.
He said, "Kill everything else, not a turtle."
Yeah, I felt a little bad about that one. It was when Kansas was last March, when Kansas, Iowa, and Nebraska were getting all that flooding. So there was a lot of animals coming out of the farm fields because they were all flooded out. So you had raccoons, and possums, turtles, deer, javelina, pigs, coyotes. True. Wind's picking up.
Tomorrow we'll film I wanted to do like a version of like the Newlywed Game where we ask each other, where I ask questions to see how well we know each other. So I'll film that tomorrow. I was going to write the questions down today. I was going to write them down today and my neck hurts. I don't have full mobility right now, so I was going to, hopefully my neck doesn't hurt as bad tomorrow. But yeah, I thought that would be fun, and then I can film it while we're driving. Oh, she was asking Gene a question. Damn it, he's being a stinker. If Gene is a fail, I will answer the question since he's mean.
That door just,
He doesn't want to stay close.
it's like the bungee's getting stretched out.
Well, it probably is because the wind's catching it.
I gotta go from bungee over here. So. I'm not sure the scenery.
Mike wants me to turn the camera again so you can see the trees. can't see anything anyway because you can only see from your chest up.
But we're driving down such a gorgeous highway.
It is pretty. Makes me miss Montana. I mean, granted, these aren't the same trees, but
Montana wasn't quite as foresty.
depends on which spots you're in.
There was a lot of trees, but there was still a lot more flat area in between.
Yeah.
Like here, you can't see but 100 feet off the road.
Well, they had those forest fires that came through in the 80s that wiped out a bunch of in West Yellowstone.
Yeah. I never got to go through Yellowstone because I was too wide on one side. Nice. Our place. Oh, this is where I got pulled over. I was coming up where that truck's at.
Yeah.
I was changing freeways. And I bet you with that police officer back there,
Probably.
he was sitting right here. Where is this? He was sitting right here at the end of this guardrail. He pulled me over saying that I was speeding. And he was sitting right there in that lot. Said I was speeding. And I passed. I did not slow down slow enough for a vehicle to pull over or something.
Oh, is that the one that gave you the warning? Give you a
Yeah,
warning?
he gave me a warning. I didn't get a ticket, but there was no vehicle here. And I was only doing like 45, 50 because when we merged together, it was a bunch of trucks. I think we'll be on the rest area. Oh, yeah, there is a rest area right there.
There's not as many rest areas along this stretch of the country as I feel like there should be. Yeah.
I've also been closing a lot of rest areas because states don't like truck drivers.
Yeah. They don't want them stopping, so they just close it.
Indiana closed a big
300-mile stretch.
One rest area that had 300 parking spots.
Oh, wow.
They said they couldn't afford to maintain it.
He said we should film the rest areas and how bad they are.
Actually, really
A
nice.
lot of the ones that are open, at least where we're at here, are nice. And they're maintained well. I think the truck stop from the first day of vlogging is probably one of the worst truck stops I've been in. Most of them aren't bad. I mean, and I can vlog a little bit the next time we take a shower just so you can see what the inside is like. But most of them aren't bad, like you would think that they would be. So that truck stop from the first day, that one's not a very nice truck stop. But most of the rest areas are the truck stops.
The worst rest areas I've ever stopped at are in California. There's a trash. They're nice on the outside, but trash.
Gross.
Yeah, they're really gross. Generally, on the East Coast, I've never stopped at a rest stop that was
God. Yeah, and I remember telling you that when I came through with you the first time that I was surprised how nice some of the ones are that we've stopped at. Like the one we stopped at earlier was nice. They have a visitor center, but they had it closed. But they are really nice.
There's one in Mississippi that's nicer than
Yeah, everything in California is trash. Yes.
Yeah, that state's horrible.
We would agree with you on that.
They also been closing a lot of rest areas in California. which sucks because there's not enough truck parking.
Hasn't been as bad lately because there's not as many trucks on the road, but under normal circumstances, when there's full amount of trucks, it's annoying because there's nowhere to stop.
You got trucks parking on freeway ramps.
Gene said the rest areas in Cincinnati are so.
I don't remember if I stopped in the rest area of Ohio. I've been through there. I've been through Cleveland. I don't know any other cities in Ohio, but I've driven through there from Pennsylvania to Chicago.
Mike's done a couple of loads to New Jersey. He's been to New Jersey.
Yeah, that's not about nice at all. That's probably one of the worst states I've driven to. That, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, Chicago's not nice.
I've delivered a load literally in downtown Chicago.
No, Connecticut.
Oh, I've known Cleveland, Connecticut, rest area closed.
You've never been to Connecticut.
No. That's actually one of the 5 states.
I know, I was thinking Cincinnati all of a sudden. Probably because it starts with the C. Yeah, Gene's from Connecticut. Yeah, that was one of the states you were saying you've never been through.
Yeah.
There's a few that Mike hasn't been through.
There's 5. Rhode Island, Connecticut, Maine, New Hampshire, and
They're probably all in
Vermont. They're all in that little area. I've been to all the rest of the states except for those 5. And I don't
Hawaii. Well, no, you haven't been to Hawaii? And Mike's been to Hawaii.
Technically, I have stepped foot in Hawaii because it's way over. The same with Alaska.
Oh,
I have stepped foot on
soil.
Not for very long.
Yeah, he said so the whole New England area. Yeah, because it's like when Mike's gone through Pennsylvania, like going to New Jersey, he just misses those states, and he hasn't had to pick anything up past where he's been. So I think that's why he's missed that little pocket.
There's not much coming out of that region.
Yeah, it's one of those. If he took a load in, he'd have a hard time finding a load out. So that's why there's a few places just probably will never go. Just because there's Montana's another one, just because there's not a lot coming out of the state. Oranges, so you can get stuck up there. They don't like the guys that have to drive empty very far to pick up. Yeah, because they're burning fuel if you're not making anything. I would like to go up there. Maine's one of those states.
That's somewhere we would
that I would like to visit. I would like to see Pennsylvania and Massachusetts and Maine and Rhode Island are 2 of the states. But yeah, we would fly and rent a car. We were going to take a vacation over there. Pictures of it just look really pretty. I would want to go during the fall before it snows and everything. Yes, but that's when it's pretty over there because the leaves are all orange and yellow and red.
Look, the leaves are orange and yellow and red right
No, they're not. They're green and purple. And those aren't even leaves. Those are flowers. Yeah, I would want to go during the fall. Said lots of forests. I like lighthouses, so I would want to go see some lighthouses on the coast.
I don't think we have lighthouses on the West Coast very much.
A lot of them got torn down. They don't
really do so.
No. Well, even the ones on the East Coast, even if there a lot of people moved into them and made them homes, they didn't just tear them down. He said it's beautiful in the fall and the log cabins are cool. Fall's my favorite time of year anyway. I think growing up in Montana, I miss fall still to this day. So yeah,
guys are celebrating.
They're not dying, they're going to sleep. Trees don't die. Their leaves fall off. They're dormant.
Come on, Trent. Come on.
It's been an hour and almost 10 minutes.
I'm having fun. You guys can join us. Don't got anything else to do with this?
She said she thinks fall is everyone's favorite.
Not mine.
What's your favorite season?
I like summer.
Mike likes the heat. The heat in Arizona doesn't even bother him. I tolerate the heat in Arizona. I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
It's not upset.
Jean lives in Connecticut. I was saying Cincinnati, Connecticut.
Tell you how many people with us.
2, no, 3. It was up to 4 at one point. Yeah, the number is really small, but that's the number watching right there.
He's a dead person.
I don't know. Sometimes people will watch and they won't say anything. Like, you've watched my lives before and you don't say anything.
I talk to you all the time. What am I going to say? Oh,
And Jean are probably the 2 people still on. Sometimes my friend Marcy will pop in. And like Mander's the lady that lives, her name's Amanda. She lives in Canada, so she popped in and left.
listen to all of mine.
So there's somebody came back. I don't really worry about the number. I just kind of keep track of who's talking. What is your least favorite state to do trucking in?
California.
California.
You can ask her every time I talk on the phone. I hate
The
California.
drivers are not courteous to one another. Like, the cars on the road are not courteous, but the truckers are not even courteous to one another, which kind of boggles my mind a little bit because most of them are from out of state. People, for some reason, when they go into California, they lose their mind and they just start acting like assholes. Excuse my language. And
Speed limit's 55 for commercial trucks.
it's just a pain for him to drive through there. They have weird, I mean, some of their restrictions aren't bad, but it's just not a pleasant state for anybody to drive through.
You can't move in. You can't move in that state anyway.
No, I didn't figure that out. I wasn't sure where you got it from. I know some of it's like tester, so I didn't know if you worked at Ulta or like Sephora and got it that way. I was wondering that. Oh, New York. Yeah, New York is one of the, like New York City. New York is one of the states Jason does not do loans to at all. He used to, and then he had problems with drivers getting stuck and not, because you can't just turn around. So New York is one of the few places. One of the new dispatcher accident. Well, I don't know if he accidentally, but he sent somebody into New York to pick something up, and the guy got stuck. He got lost. He got stuck. Couldn't get out.
He went to the port of New York.
It was bad. So Jason said, "No more, never again."
We used to deliver trash bodies to Brooklyn.
I'm not sure. No, Wendy was trying to get me to guess where she gets the makeup.
She knows somebody. Knows somebody that knows
Does
somebody.
your husband work for one of those companies that, because I have a friend here, her husband does, it's not really like customs, but he does something where he gets a hold of large amounts of makeup that they're like going to destroy. So I don't know if your husband does something like that.
Following Louis Nelson. Louis Nelson's Laws Owners.
Oh,
Bad boy.
or if he just, I know that stores throw stuff away, so I don't know if you just go get it after they throw it away. Mike's pickup is a Dodge, but we are Ford people. He had a Ford Ranger that he's in the process of selling to a friend of his, but his main truck is, we did buy a Chevy pickup, but it's just because it's an older pickup and it's easy. He only paid $500 and it's easy to work on, something you can drive back and forth to the yard. Oh, that's what I was thinking, how you got it. I know there are channels that actually film like going and getting all the, because I know the stores, when they throw like testers and stuff, they just check large quantities. No. We don't like the new Rangers as much as we originally thought, because we had thought about getting a Ranger instead of my car, because I've got a Ford Explorer. Mike was a little disappointed.
They only come with a 4-cylinder motor, and then on top of that, they're too European. I don't like the rounded bumpers, too round on the front, the cab. I wish they would have just taken the old Ranger and made it a 4-door, which they do have 4-door Rangers in Mexico, but they're not as nicely done as Ford could have done them. And you can't get the older 4-door Rangers in the States because they're not crash tested. Canada has some of those 4-door.
There we go. Technically, yeah, if the makeup's expired, it can, but usually the stuff is good past the expiration date. I mean, even if you were an employee and you brought the testers home, there's always a risk because, I mean, it can potentially, you don't touch it. So it's one of those, you kind of use it at your own risk. So stuff like that, like I'll patch test the foundation before I put it on my face, just because I tend to have weird reactions to things sometimes. I mean, I have a problem using sheet masks because there's a preservative they put in some of them, and sometimes those will break me out. So, I mean, but I run into that when I buy stuff on Poshmark. I'm buying it at my own risk because most of the eyeshadow palettes I get used from Poshmark. I mean, and even if the seller is claiming they're brand new, you don't know that it's brand new until you get it to your house and you can see that nobody's touched it. But so let's just kind of use caution and use it at your own risk. I don't think there's anything wrong with it because I know the stores, well, and the policies that the stores, like when they have a bottle of foundation as a tester, they're only allowed to have it out for a certain amount of time, even like before it expires. They can only have like the testers out for 2 weeks or a month or something like that. Then they're required to dispose of it, and even if nobody's used it, and then they have to throw all that stuff away. So, I mean, yeah, you are taking a risk, but like I said, I take a risk when I buy stuff off of Poshmark just because I buy used makeup. So you just kind of use your judgment, look, and as long as it doesn't smell bad with foundation, because I have foundation in my drawer that's probably 3 years old. As long as it doesn't smell bad, I'll still use it. The ones I have, I keep because they're too light for me, so I'll mix them in with darker foundation. But you just kind of got to use your best judgment, because then you can patch this before you put it on your face. Do you get jealous or worried when Alex talks to guys on YouTube? This is a troublemaker question, I know. Well, and Mike trusts me because, like, Gene knows about you. I've talked. I mean, it's one of those things we just trust each other. Because I mean, like, if Mike was talking to somebody else, I'd never know. Granted, that person would never see him because he's never home. So, but we had a conversation about this the other day. It's more trouble than it's worth. to have somebody on the side because you got to talk to that person, and he barely wants to talk to me. But no, he doesn't. But I'm pretty open. Like, I've talked to him about James, and like he knows that you made the banner. He reads all of my comments on my videos, so he knows who comments. He knows when I've done lives with you. We're pretty honest and open with each other, which I think you kind of have to be when he's gone as much as he is.
Yeah, it's been 10 days on the road.
And then, like, Mike could go in my phone anytime he wanted to and look. He doesn't, but he knows he has access. Like, I know what the password is to his phone. So it's not like, oh, you can't look at my phone and see who I'm talking to. Like, if people start doing stuff like that, well, then, yeah, you're kind of setting yourself up. You're looking suspicious. But if somebody comments or asks, listen, Mike knows what I've done in life. Like, I've seen another. Wendy said, I trust her too, and I have never seen any evidence of her flirting with anyone else. I don't. But yeah, we just try and be honest. Like, when we first started dating, Mike's ex was texting him, but I think she knew he was dating somebody and it was bothering her. Every time she texted, he told me about it.
She would call.
She was friends with Mike's sister, and his sister didn't realize that she was using her to get information. Anytime Katie would see her, then Mike would get a text in the middle of the night. And I finally told his sister, I'm like, hey, because Mike gets a call. And so I think she's she finally figured out that she was using her to get information. Either that or Katie just stopped telling her stuff. Eventually it stopped, but
Unless you know.